from UCC that is watching, these are your alumni right here.
Yeah.
Leave some love in the comment section. The same university, University of Cape Coast in Ghana.
Yeah.
And we independently applied to INT'L State University and got in.
Yes, so it was in level 300, what we call the junior year, that I started looking into graduate schools.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Mira, and first of all, I would like to say thank you so much for all of the love and support that has been shown on my videos. Wow, mind-blowing. Thank you so much and continue supporting me. I really appreciate all of the love that has been shown to my channel. And basically, we want to talk about funding because Enoch has a very vast experience on how to seek for funding. Basically, if you want to see this kind of content, just keep watching. Welcome back, guys, and we have Enoch here. Yeah. Enoch is a colleague of mine, and not only is he a colleague of mine, but we attended the same university, University of Cape Coast in Ghana.
Yeah.
And we independently applied to INT'L State University and got in.
Yeah.
So if you really want to know more about the application, we've already talked a lot about application process anyway. If you really want to know more about the funding process, just keep watching. So I know the process for acquiring funding has been really tough. Like when you were in UCC, what year did you start applying for grad school? When you were in undergrad, what year in your undergrad did you start applying for grad school?
Yes, so it was in level 300, what we call the junior year, that I started looking into graduate schools. And I didn't start by my own will. I started only because, there were a group of exchange students from the US and they asked me, hey, Enoch, what would you like to do after school? And I'm like, when I finish or when I graduate, I would find out. And they're like, no, when I get into grad school, you start now.
Right.
At the time, it was really hard because just doing things you've not done before, emailing professors, going into other schools was tough. But yeah, I felt like that was really the key. That was what unlocked the whole thing. So yeah, I started in my third year of my undergraduate.
Did you graduate with the first class, if I may ask?
No, I didn't.
So would you place early application, and if you were to prioritize early application and then GPA, which one would you say has a higher priority?
Yeah, this is it. I think GPA is very important.
Yeah.
But once you make it into the qualifying category, which is second class upper, I feel like...
Which is like a 3.0,
Which
right?
is a 3.0. I feel like at that point, the next most important thing is getting your application in very early and beating, because that's the way you beat the other competition. Once you are in, once you're qualified, the next thing is who comes first.
Right.
And the first class is as qualified as a second class, because for most departments, all they need is a minimum second class upper. So once everyone is at that threshold, the next thing is, okay, who came in first? And if the admissions committee meets and there's 5 people, the decision will be made for the 5 people who have put in the applications. And with every time they meet, that number is going to be reduced with the number of people who are selected. So I think that, GPA is important, but once you get that GPA, I think that early application is probably the next most important thing.
When you applied, you know which professor has funding for grad school as an international student, because obviously we all need funding. We may not be able to get funded by the government. So if you apply, what is the process at which you reach out to a specific professor that has funding, that like this one here, there's funding in this one? So
that's a very good question. So at the beginning, I didn't really know this, right? When I started applying to graduate schools, I'll just Google up a school and then go into the department that I was looking at. So I did biochemistry for my undergraduate, and so I'd go into the school, go into the biochemistry department and just look at the various research. And I was particularly fascinated with biotechnology and using like microbes to biotransform a lot of things into desired products. So I'll just look at the research, and if I was interested, then I'd email them and then I'd start to think about how to apply. But I had 2 great mentors, and that's my supervisor when I did my national service, Dr. Renfo, and his friend, Dr. Abasa. So the 2 were good friends, and they became my good friends too. So they were the ones who really guided me and made me understand that, you're not just applying to every school out there. You want to make sure that you look at the department and see in the website that there's funding, there's some form of funding for accepted students.
So that's the catchphrase. You need to make sure you see that there is some funding for accepted students.
Some form of assistantship, funding, something.
Funding.
In North America,
stipends.
Typically, stipends.
Those are the words too.
Exactly, that's what you're looking out for. And it's okay to apply to other schools, but you want these to be at the top of your list because you don't want to waste a lot of that's $60 or $70 in application fees. You convert that to a lot of the other currencies, and that's a lot of money.
Right.
So you typically don't want to just throw money out there not knowing what your fate is once you're accepted.
Right.
Acceptance usually is not a problem like funding. So you want to make sure that there's something there that guarantees you that okay, if you get accepted, there's some chance of funding, either through some scholarship or some grant from a professor or from departmental funding, but just something that you can hold on to. So
when you get accepted into the university, who is the first point of contact to reach out to via email? Is it the graduate school coordinator, the professor who they actually said has funding? Who specifically do you email to request funding for yourself? Who do you reach out to?
Yeah, so that is something that varies from school to school. With some schools, in some websites, they make it clear that reach out to this person. For example, reach out to the graduate coordinator, and he will then direct you as to the steps to take, to secure your funding. Other times, they leave it very open and tell you reach out to individual professors.
Wow.
And these ones will then let you know depending on if they have a grant, if they are working on a project that requires your expertise, and that will determine if they'll reach out to you and say, hey, yes, we are looking for someone that matches your skill set and we will want you on our team, we will want you on our board. So you want to see that usually is also on the website on who to reach out to after you've been accepted, either the graduate coordinator, the department chair, or some faculty member. If you don't see any of that, you should be able to email someone in the graduate college asking for the next step to take. Okay, to secure funding or to get some form of financial aid.
For instance, looking at all of these graduate application fees, some of them might be waived. Most of them are not waived, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Would you say, for instance, I have only $60 that I've saved and I'm trying to apply. Should I reach out to a professor and he guarantees me that he has funding and for me to apply, or for me to just apply and hope that I can reach out to this professor and he can offer me funding?
No. So I think that you generally do not want to just apply if you haven't heard from a professor who says I would want to work with you. So if it's not written in the department website that accepted students are given some form of funding, or accepted students are typically given assistantships in the form of teaching assistantships or research assistantships, where they work around 20 to whatever number of hours in a week, in exchange for this money. If you don't see that, the next thing is to try to secure funding from a faculty member, from a researcher who has a grant. Now, if you don't get that, you should probably hold on to your precious dollars. You don't want
and not apply and don't know what to...
Yeah, because it's very important that because once you develop the rapport with the professor and you start to exchange emails, it comes a time when they will tell you that put in your application. That's like a sure sign that if you accept it, they would want to work with you. Yeah, you don't want to just apply, get accepted, and then start talking to people and be like, sorry, I'm not taking any students now.
Wow.
Or sorry, my lab is full, or I'm expecting a grant next semester. Or there's so much competition, and coming from just one country, like if you take Ghana, where we come from, there's so many universities, there's a lot of people looking to study abroad, and then you multiply that by the number of countries in Africa, multiply that by the number of continents, and you see the exponential numbers we are looking at. So many people are looking to study abroad with some kind of financial aid or some form of funding, and these spots are not enough to cater to everyone. So to just put in your application when you've not heard from anyone, when you've not communicated with anyone.
I think I would like to talk about the fact that you can actually apply to some interdisciplinary departments to yours, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, let's say I am like, okay, I'm a chemistry major, and for instance, I applied, I've spoken to a professor, and they say there is no funding, and let's say I got an application fee waiver, so I applied anyway, and then I got in. Which other departments would you say, or how would you say I can use that interdisciplinary feature of the school to actually seek funding? Because I know that's what you did, right?
Well, yeah, I applied to the Department of Natural Resources, and immediately I didn't get accepted for the fall semester, right? So I deferred to the following semester, which was spring. And as I deferred, as I was waiting, I kept emailing professors and emailing researchers, asking them, hey, I'm Enoch, and these are my skills. I'm a biochemist. Are you looking for someone like this to work on your team? And some would say no. Some would say, I'm sorry. Some would say, I'm not taking anyone now. You know, but they would let me know that if I did get some funding, or if I did get this grant funded, I would reach out to you. Or so I just waited. So I deferred to the following semester, and I waited. And one of the professors reached out to me, and because they remembered me as the UCC boy, because I really troubled a lot of them. I just kept sending my emails every day, troubling them like, hey, do you have funding? Are you looking for a student? I can work on this. I've used these devices.
The perseverance.
Yeah,
right?
Perseverance. Yeah, like I just so to the extent that they knew, like as soon as I arrived, they were like, "Is that the boy from UCC who traveled all of us?" They knew me. So she reached out to me. So my advisor reached out to me and said, "Yeah, Enoch, I just secured a grant, and we need the services of someone who has a biochemistry background, because it was an interdisciplinary program. I was looking to do something in the natural resources field, but from a biochemistry background. And that research that she got funded was a collaborative research, with the Department of Biology, to do something related to some genetic study, which needed someone beyond agriculture. And that's how I was suited to that.
So all in all, so basically the pointers now is, first of all, reach out to a professor before you actually apply to the school.
Absolutely.
Reach out to the professor before you actually apply to the school. Go ahead and look for the keyword that says that students that are admitted actually do get funding or some form of support or some form of stipend. And go ahead and look at interdisciplinary researchers that are offering funding related to your research. So you can actually get funded even if your department itself does not have funding.
I don't know if it's just with this school, that's A&T, or with other schools. So typically you can change your department and you can change the program that you were accepted into, but that's only after you've arrived here in the US. You reach out to the person says that, hey, I think I've seen your transcript, or I've seen your profile, and I'm interested in working with you. However, you were accepted into this program, and the only way I can work with you is if you change your program.
Now that's risky, because what if I don't know biology?
The person looking to work with you has seen that you have something that they want or they might find valuable on their team.
So it boils down to reaching out to the professor and making them aware of your abilities before you actually come over. So much insight. Well, I think this is the end of the video. Thank you so much, Enoch, for being on my channel.
Thank you for having me.
And anybody from UCC that is watching, these are your alumni right here. Leave some love in the comment section, because at the end of the day, UCC to the world, UCC CIE to the world, we are everywhere, and I am so thankful and grateful for this opportunity to be able to sit down, not only in Cape Coast, Kotokraba, we are able to sit down here. We are able to sit down here again in North Carolina. And thank you so much. And kindly subscribe to this channel. Keep supporting, and see you in my next video. Bye.